The Opie and Anthony Show. If you're like me, you like watching YouTube documentaries about the downfall of people. And if that's the case, then you've probably already seen hours of videos about these guys. Their show probably wasn't even on the radio station in your city, and it's been off the air for years, yet it's still being talked about. There was a time when the O&A show was almost neck and neck with the Howard Stern show in terms of popularity. Only briefly, though. Greg Opie Hughes and Anthony Cumia were two shock jocks who catered to a young male audience, so there were plenty of farts and edgy jokes to be had. There was also definitely some dude bro energy that lingered around the show, but for the most part, the show was pretty funny and had some of this generation's greatest comedians come through and chat. So when Opie and Anthony heard about this viral internet personality that was shit-talking old video games, it piqued their interest. Plus, they had hours of radio to fill, so why not? Stick around as I talk about that one time when James Rolfe was on the Opie and Anthony Show. This is Dancing with Ghosts. Being an internet celebrity is weird. You can have millions of fans across the world, yet most people in the real world have no idea who you are. It's kind of an ideal type of fame, really. You can be adored online and at conventions and still go grocery shopping undisturbed. This is the type of celebrity that James Rolfe has. So it came as no surprise back in 2008 when the O&A team had James call into their show for an interview. Prior to this event, Opie, Anthony, and various other comics would actually play scenes from what would now be considered classic nerd episodes on the air, and they would react.
Yeah, he had a WOW sticker, WYSP Opie and Anthony WOW sticker stuck to the side of his television, which is prominently displayed in a couple of his reviews, which are hysterical. The one for Top Gun, great. His Back to the Future review is hysterical, really funny. He goes, yeah, this Back to the Future game is just like the movie. Remember where Marty McFly was rolling bowling balls down the street at girls in hula hoops trying to kill him?
Yeah.
Like, what?
With Back to the Future, how could you go wrong? Oh, yeah, you can fucking go wrong, all right. Like, if I just shat into a bag and wrote Back to the Future on it, that would be the same as this awful piece of shit. It brings my piss to a boil. What a piece of shit.
He's definitely, definitely got a little niche there, you know?
It was really bizarre seeing these two worlds collide. On the one hand, you had the chronically online nerdy fan base of James Rolfe, and on the other hand, you had the basement-dwelling pesks of Opie and Anthony. Not to mention, the O&A show was a comedy show that, much like the Howard Stern show, was constantly seeking out people with wacky personalities or who were at the very least funny to kind of be their whack pack. When James called into the show, he was neither one of these things, neither funny or all that interesting.
All right, we got Angry Video Game Nerd on the phone. Angry Game Video Nerd, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
It's Opie and Anthony, Jim Norton, and a bunch of other guys. How are you? I said that already.
Up? I'm pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, watched some of your work. I loved it. I mean,
Right.
it's nostalgic, brings back memories of playing some of these shitty games, and you got quite the take on it. It's not just like you're reviewing these things, but you're kind of passionate about it.
Yeah, you got a great way about you as you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So what? You played these shitty games when you were younger?
Yeah.
I honestly think Opie and Anthony thought James was going to call in being the nerd, or at least have an interesting personality, but any AVGN fan can tell you that when James isn't reading something from a script, he's about as interesting as a bowl of paste.
Thank you so much. Continued success for you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, there he goes, James.
Not the most talkative guy when he's not on the...
I had a feeling that was going to happen, too, because every time I had to talk to him on the phone, I would try to have a dialogue, and he would just be like, okay.
Yeah, Danny really piggybacked that one, I gotta say.
Like when he talks on his reviews, he's really, he's going at it.
Very animated.
Yeah, that's what was so surprising to me because, he's so outgoing and, creative with these videos. You figured he would just be able to spew out anything without a problem. And then you get
like, the video game, and you reviewed that, or you reviewed that one, and it was pretty slow moving. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, at least it wasn't, confrontational.
Yeah, that would have been a little awkward.
When you're a radio host and you ask a pretty involved question and the answer is yeah, it puts you in a weird position.
Because, you need a little more time to think up the next question.
Right.
So when you just get a you kind of go, oh, I should have had another question.
We still like James.
I'm gonna
He
check.
might have been a little nervous.
But trust me, you do not want to see James do the nerd character without a script. I saw a video a long time ago for some game trailers promo, and he did the interview as the nerd character, and it was just all kinds of awkward.
So do you like any games?
No, what kind of stupid question is that?
Okay, stop throwing things. This is my own set here. Okay, well tell me about your worst experience playing a video game then.
Well, have you ever played Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? That game is atrocious. They give you a weapon that does absolutely nothing, and then out of nowhere, lightning strikes, and you're dead. And that's it. I also really like the misspellings on a lot of games, like in Double Dragon 3, Bimmy and Jimmy, which is supposed to be Billy and Jimmy. Bimmy isn't even a real name. Bimmy isn't even a real name. I mean, what the fuck is with that shit?
Yeah, that was bad. I think James felt just as awkward doing it as we did watching it, and he was never in character again when doing interviews. At least I don't think. Getting back to the Opie and Anthony interview, I do gotta say, though, they did throw some fairly stupid-ass questions at James from time to time.
You play Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, no, I actually played a little bit, but no, I haven't really gotten to delve into that much yet.
It rocks.
You should try to review some of the newer games.
But I guess much like the rest of the world in 2008, retro games really weren't seen as cool or trendy. They were old relics that you put in your attic to make room for the latest PlayStation system or Call of Duty installment. I don't know, I just always find it interesting when I hear about any instance when James Rolfe broke into mainstream media. I just heard about this O&A thing maybe a couple months ago, but I forgot about it until now apparently. I gotta say though, the videos they were referencing and playing clips of, man, he just had something back then. I can't tell you what it was, but those old episodes are still really funny. I found myself laughing right along with the jocks, the shock jocks, to James trying to land the plane in Top Gun or the train wreck of Back to the Future or Fester's Quest. Maybe it was the fact that James didn't break character at the top of every episode to advertise ExpressVPN, or maybe it was the fact that he didn't look like an old pervert, but whatever it was, there was just some kind of magic in a bottle that he trapped and maintained for a while. It made me nostalgic for the nostalgia. Fucking weird, man. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Did you know about James being on the O&A show? And more importantly, I would love to hear your thoughts on Opie and Anthony in general. The YouTuber Beige Frequency did a fucking 4-hour-long documentary about Anthony Cumia, and it's amazing in how cringy and embarrassing Anthony Cumia became. One of my other favorite YouTubers, Porcelain, did some great documentaries on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts that are definitely worth a watch. The guy just does great documentaries in general. He did a 3-part series on Joe Matarese and Baked Alaska. But anyway, yeah, give him a watch. Till next time, have a good rest of your night.